Y'all know what day it is, right? It's Tuesday. We Say They Say podcast. I told y'all, you better tune in. We got the infamous Strictly Business in here today with my good man to the right of me. Meet you 2 times, say it 2 times. You know me, the real Brody, a.k.a., you know. Let's get to it. So today we're going to talk about co-parenting. So I'm going to start with Miss Strictly Business. As far as co-parenting, let's look.
How do you feel about co-parenting? What's your...
In what aspect?
Do you have co-parenting experiences?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how do you feel? How should co-parent go in your mind? Like, how should it be? Like, should parents be? They should. I buy clothes, you buy clothes, or I take the kid every day or once a week. Everything. Like, how do you feel? Like, what's your just overall perspective on co-parenting?
Co-parenting should work however what fits best, what suffices best for those parents. I mean, everything doesn't work for everybody.
Correct. But what if you got a petty parent?
Well, if you have a petty parent, then you have to do what's best for the interest of the child. You can't really think about yourself.
Agreed.
Agreed. No, I'm 100% with you, but you know, some people don't look at it that way. Like some men and females on both sides of the fence, you have petty fathers and you have petty mothers. You know what I'm saying? So, in that aspect, it's not about, they don't look at it as being about the child. So, I mean, how do you feel about, you know, you say they supposed to put the shit aside for the kid, but in reality, they might still feel a certain kind of way about the other parent. So, how do you feel they should go about that? Like,
who should go about that? The person that feels the type of way, or the other parent?
The other parent. How do you feel the other parent should approach the petty parent?
Approach them with respect, because that's all you can give.
I mean,
but you don't have anything to do with. You can't control their reactions. That's their reactions.
I mean, but at the same time, you can't control nobody's reactions. But if you, in your mind, if you like, look, this got to be about the kid, and they continuously being petty, like, I mean, eventually you gonna get to a point where it's like, motherfucker, look, it's supposed to be about the kid, bitch, but you being petty, or nigga, you being petty. We need to figure this shit out. It's not going the respect factor is going to leave at some point because of the continuing pettiness. Do you agree?
I don't agree. Actually, I don't, because if you're an adult, you can respect that person regardless of whether what's going on, whether you beefing with them or not. That's still the mother of your child, the father of your child. Whatever, you gotta respect that person. And if they petty, then you just gotta go the other route. You have, at the end of the day, the best interest of the child, that means in every way, in all routes, in all aspects.
What's another route though? Like,
go to court.
Yeah.
Go to court.
okay.
Go to court. That's the best way. If I can't communicate with you, if I can't talk to you, if we can't coexist with each other, then we'll let the courts handle it. Because I'm going to be around my child regardless, whether I fuck with you or not.
Correct. I feel the same way. But I mean, again, a lot of people feel like court is too much. You know?
Well, then that's your problem. You don't want to be around your child. It's just a given.
Man.
So I got a quick question. Okay, so how do you feel about mothers keeping their children away from their fathers?
I think that's goofy. Why would you want to harm? That's in turn harming
you're pawning your child.
Well, that's harming your child.
No, I'm saying pawn. I was agreeing with you.
Your child suffers from that at the end of the day. And you can keep your child away. At the end of the day, your child can get older and they're gonna start to see and make their own observations and see you fucked up, and then they'll resent you once they get older. Okay. So I think it's goofy.
What's your take on it?
Basically, I kind of agree with what she's saying. Co-parenting. You gotta put your feelings aside. Like, a lot of co-parenting, it don't work because there's a lot of feelings involved, and I get it. Like, y'all dated, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had a kid, like that's.
Sometimes you dated.
All right, sometimes you date. Some people get people pregnant, and some people get people pregnant. And that's true. I can't hold you. That's fact. That's fact. But my thing is, like, a lot of people feelings are involved, and that causes a lot of friction and a lot of drama. Like, people be pawning like you said, people pawn their kids because they mad at the father, or it could be vice versa. Sometimes it's the fathers too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like I said, my overall personal opinion, I just feel like as adults, you gotta figure it out. Like, all right, y'all don't like each other, y'all situation ain't work out, whatever it is. One person might have had the kid, the other one ain't want you to have it. Like, whatever your situation is, you gotta basically like figure it out. Being an adult, like at the end of the day, the child suffers. Like, I feel like I said, you don't gotta fuck with your baby mother, baby father just to pick your kid up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
just, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have to come to an agreement on what schedule y'all gonna do, how y'all wanna do it. Y'all wanna do I get her every week and then we switch, or every other weekend, or whatever your schedule is. Like, you just gotta come to an agreement and then flow from that.
Okay, so let's talk about.
What you feel about co-parenting?
Yes.
How do you feel about co-parenting? Do you
Uh,
experience co-parenting?
Nah, I don't.
If you did, how would you handle it?
More than likely, I would set up a schedule. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Try to go about things in the positive aspect. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep everything on the up and up between me and whoever
Okay.
my kids' mom is. And you know, just like I said, like if we can come to a common ground on certain on a lot of this, you know, situations, then I feel like it'll be, you know what I'm saying, it'll be successful for both of us. I don't feel like we should have to argue about certain shit when we could just have a conversation.
And how would you handle it if you had a petty baby mother? Would you take her to court? Because I see a lot that men don't take women to court when a lot of men should be taking women to court.
You want to know why? I think, and this is my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think men don't go to the court system because I feel like we don't get shown no love in the court system.
I think y'all just lazy, honestly, when it comes to that. If you want me to be honest, I think y'all lazy.
I mean, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. You can be entitled to your opinion. But I don't feel like, in that aspect, I don't feel like men, we don't get shown no love in the
Well,
court
here's the thing. I've seen cases where the baby mother will take the baby father to court.
Right.
But the court will see that the baby father is in a better position to take care of the child, and then reverse the whole case, and now the baby mother is the one paying child support. So I wouldn't say that y'all don't get shown love. I just think it just takes for you to actually get up and go to court.
Yeah,
but initially, who took who to court? The baby mother. The baby mother.
Saying a crackhead, the chances of you winning is very slim, because you could. That's it is, because a lot of men go to court. And that, like the whole receipt thing. When we was young, everybody had this theory that you bring receipts. You got a bucket receipt. All judges say that's gifts. You can buy your kid medicine. You can buy all of that shit. They saying that shit gifts.
It don't matter.
Like that.
They say it's a gift.
Yes, they say it's gifts. The judge will tell you that the receipts that you brought, all of that shit, birthday parties, all that shit. You can say, look, I paid for this. I bought shoes this month, that month, this month, that month. They say, oh, those was gifts. Like he said, a lot of men don't get shown no love, so it's like we're afraid to even try because we're gonna fuck around and lose, and it's gonna make it even worse.
Right. We'd be in a worse position than we was in before we went in there. You know what I'm saying? Just off the fact that because we feel like we taking this girl to court. In my opinion, again, I feel like women get shown. I mean, it's kind of a fact. Women get shown more love when it comes to child support and stuff like that in the court system. I mean, that's just my opinion. Because this is from me seeing people that I know in past experiences on child support and having to go through the court system. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, me, I'm gonna go whatever route to get done what I gotta get done for my child. So if I was a man, I would just have to take those chances and
but
just go with
you
it.
being a female, but you being a female, it's easier for you to go that route.
Well, I wouldn't take no wife. I wouldn't take him for child support. I wouldn't take him for child support because I mean we coexist well, co-parenting wise.
Okay.
If I don't have to cuss his ass out sometimes.
Oh shit.
We got questions from the audience. You got Mr. Hefe Maintain. You had your hand raised. You got a question, sir?
I mean, I'm gonna just wait
Speak a
until.
little louder.
I'm gonna wait until. I mean, I'll speak on what you just said, but when I come up there, I'm gonna go into a real personal breakdown of how it works. But most men, to answer your question, most men don't go to court. One, because they're ignorant, right? And not ignorant in an insulting manner, but ignorant, just don't understand the system, right? And they already have a defeated mentality because of the stereotypes associated with child support, right?
Right.
and most people speak on things they don't know, right? So when she'll say, "Oh nah, you just lazy, you don't go," and da 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 da, and then she found out that keeping receipts are viewed as gifts, that's because she don't really understand what she's saying. Like she think that fairness is the law, and that
It's not that I don't understand what I'm saying. I understand what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying you don't understand what you're saying. You said
That's
it,
what
so
you just said.
understand it. I said you don't understand how the courts work.
But you also said she don't understand what she's
So he
saying.
meant was he don't understand.
You don't understand what you're saying because you're speaking on something that you don't understand fully. That's
Which is
what I
the
mean.
course.
Which is the course. So you're speaking on things that most people, right? Normal people think what fair is usually law, right? What's reasonable. Like, of course, this is reasonable, so this is the law. This should be the law. And that's not how it always works. It ain't always based on reason.
Right.
Why would a judge tell you you don't gift nothing for your child?
Right.
Why would they associate a gift, like the essentials,
Yeah, that don't
as a
sound right.
gift?
That don't
That don't
sound
even make sense, right?
Right.
So no reasonable person, without knowing that, would think that would be considered a gift, right? That's why you were shocked. You was like, what? They thought yeah. But when you understand the
I would
system,
still go there.
I don't
I would
disagree.
still go.
I'm an
I
advocate.
would
I'm
still go.
100% advocate for going. I don't disagree. I don't necessarily agree with him in the sense of not going. I said I was answering. Most men are ignorant to the system,
Right.
and they have a defeated mentality because what's associated, the stereotypes that's associated with child support. Now, being that I went through it and am still going through the court system, I can give them more in depth because I learned
Right.
how this stuff works. He
Okay.
made a valid point. When you say, well, you can just get your child. I agree with him when they say the courts is against men. Are the courts against men? In a sense, right? Because the way that it's set up, it is more difficult for the man
Come on, baby.
to win than to lose.
Jerome. Look at my phone. Look at it.
So do you
No,
feel
I
like?
don't
So
need
do you feel like it's? So do you? Hefe maintain everybody.
Yes, sir. FA maintain.
So do you feel like it's better to have a conversation before you take that route, or do you feel like if
So-
you're dealing with somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, difficult, you feel like you should automatically just jump into that?
Well, listen. If you know, this is my advice now. If you already at the place where you know you're not going to get along with your baby mother, or y'all don't see eye to eye, or y'all don't have the same morals and ethics and principles, right?
Right.
Then you need to treat it like war. People think that's hard. people take that as like an extreme, right?
Right.
But these are extreme matters. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, and most of us do, because I did. I got caught with my pants down. I went in there thinking that she was going to be reasonable, right? But when that judge say this is what you can get, all her morals and reasonableness
Went
went
out the
right
window.
out the window.
Gotcha.
So I got caught with my pants down because I didn't treat it like war. When
But
I mean by
also
treating
think
it
that
like war, I
also
mean
think
just
that goes
being
with
prepared.
knowing who that
Who
that
you
goes
dealing
with
with.
knowing who you dealing with.
But
yeah.
you don't.
But you don't know until you
That's
in
the
that
problem. You
situation.
don't know who you're dealing with until
No,
you
that's
get in
not
the
true.
situation.
That's not true.
I
I
don't
hated
know.
Demetrius when we first broke up. Hated him.
Mhm.
Hated him. And he probably would tell you, Jasmine probably would have took me to court. Have I ever taken you to court?
No,
Have I ever been to the court?
no.
Exactly.
So
But
you
you-
think, so
but
you think that that's
you
what
threatened
you
it.
should do?
Thought
No,
about
I don't think that's what I should do because I think he takes good care of his kids.
Right. No.
We see eye to
Don't
eye,
make it
it's
personal.
cool.
Don't
You
take-
making it personal.
No, I'm
you
asking-
talking about you, right? Being in the court system.
I'm talking about this specific question, right? I'm saying I disagree with you because you're advising people, right, to take a chance on somebody who is telling you that they hate you, right? You said I hated my baby father, but I
Yeah,
didn't
I
take
did.
him. Well, if I know my baby mother hate me, I should go down there and get on up. I shouldn't go by you and hope that she don't take me, right? You might be one of them red
No.
ones that didn't end up taking them,
No.
right?
No.
So you think that in this system, is it more likely for a woman
It's
that
about
hates
what
their
the
baby father
it's
to take
about
them
what
or
the
not?
person is doing. It's about what the person is doing. Demetrius is just not a every other weekend dad.
Right,
I
for
can
sure.
count on him to do homework. I can count on him to pick her up. If I'm going out of town, I can count on him to watch her.
Speak, sis.
So it's no reason for me to be petty because if I go to the court, I'm in turn fucking that up. It may be worse going to court and taking
Yeah.
him and getting his money,
Yeah.
and I'm not getting the moral support that I'm getting.
So the better question would be,
Shout out to the dads that take care of their kids, man.
So the better question would be, would you advise that do you believe that most women take men for child support merely because they're not doing their parental duties?
No.
Do you believe that there is an enormous amount of cases where women are taking men for child support for their self-benefit, not necessarily for the benefit of their child?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So I think you're talking about the minority opposed to the majority, right? I believe that the majority of the time, when women take men, especially out of anger, to child support, it is not for the benefit of their child. It's to either A, try to cause pain to the father, hardship for whatever the reasons, and for their personal gain. Why do you think if a nigga got some money, these girls coming with cars and clothes after the fact? We know that money not going to the child, so we know where your heart is really at. We know you really don't care about your child. You're not doing it for your child. You're doing it for you.
Real quick, I'm gonna let y'all finish y'all point, and then we're gonna flip the script on something else. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was.
You done?
Yeah.
All right, so quick question. Oh, okay, we got.
Oh, if you got a question, go ahead.
No, I was gonna flip the. We just gonna flip the
Oh,
script.
I mean, I got a question.
Okay.
What is an ideal co-parentingship to you?
What is it? Oh.
An ideal co-parentingship to you? Like, what is ideal?
Um.
How would you like it?
Okay.
If you had to co-parent, or if you currently are co-parent, how would you want it to be?
Paint a picture. Paint a picture. Okay. For me, well, actually, I did have to co-parent at one point in my life. I did, and my daughter lived with me for about 8 months, and that was because I chose to have my daughter. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't never. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stop her from seeing her mom. You know what I'm saying? Whenever her mother wanted to come get her, or you know what I'm saying, whenever she wanted to be around her mother, we made it happen. You know what I'm saying? Although that our situation was not the best at the time, you know what I'm saying, we sat down and had a conversation, and we made, you know what I'm saying, we made the situation work what was best for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, an ideal situation, an ideal co-parentingship would just be two people agreeing on, you know, what's best for the child at the end of the day.
Straight
But
to
what's
that.
what's your daily, like,
Daily routine.
What would be like your week? What would be a week for you in co-parenting?
What you mean?
Like
What
a
would
week, like
be-
what was scheduled?
What would your schedule be in a week co-parenting?
Like
How
I
would your
said-
communication
like I
be
said,
with your daughter's mom?
If you had to set it up,
If you had to set it up,
if you
how
had
would
to
it be?
set it up, how would you do it? How would you want to do it?
Like I said, when I was doing it, I wanted my daughter to stay with me, and she didn't have a problem with that.
The entire time?
Yeah.
Like I had
Full-time
her for the,
parent.
I had her for
He
the.
wanted to
I
be
had
the
her for
primary
the.
parent.
Yeah, I wanted to be the primary parent because I know my daughter. My daughter wants to be around me, so I made it happen. Like I was like, look, I know she wants to be with me. I don't have a problem with it. You can get her whenever you want to. You call her, say, look, I want to come get her, or I want to take her and go do this, or I want her to stay with me tonight. That's fine. You know, no problem. I'm not going to ever hold you from your child. I would never do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Take her to school. If you want to call and say, look, I want to take her to school today. Fine, you can do that, but
But would you have like
let
a
me
routine
know.
schedule, or you would just play it by ear?
I'm more so just, you know, I'm also kind of played it by
Play it
ear.
by ear.
Yeah, more so kind of played it by ear because it could be any random day that she would call and be like, hey, I want to come pick her up, or I want to come take her to do this, or I want her to spend the night and I'm gonna take her to school tomorrow.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, cool. And then I would get her again the next day, and just go from there.
I would say ideal for me personally. I want us to be friends. You know what I mean? I want us to be friends and develop a family ship. When you develop a family ship, is the best way to do it because you get two considerate individuals. So you won't focus more on the shortcomings. You'll be more working together to progress. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times co-parenting goes wrong because they can't wait to point the finger at the other person when they don't do something, right? But he don't do this, or she don't do that, or her hair not done, or this nigga ain't give up enough money, whatever the case may be. But when y'all develop a friendship, like real, live, a lot of that little petty stuff kind of go away. So if I was to structure But that's really hard to get because that requires two mature individuals. And for women, and not to like really go on them, but a lot of times when their emotions are involved,
I got questions.
it'll be hard for you to separate your feelings because they so motivated and influenced by their feelings a lot of the time. It's hard for them to separate like business from play. Like it's time to like your child is business now. This is business. This is what we got to do. Forget what I did to you. Forget what you did to me. We got to focus on her. That's an analogy. I'm saying that's his business, right? The problem is they can't do it. Like most of the times they can't do it. Not every case. I know some women that can, but most women can't. You see what I'm saying? So that, I believe that's where a lot of times it goes wrong. And I'm not excluding the men because you got some niggas that's just as emotional as women, and they get angry and they get in their feelings and they use their children as pawns and, oh, you don't want to be with me, I'm not going to come around and so on and so forth. But if it was up to me, if I wouldn't want to set schedule, but because I'll be more focused on getting the money and trying to provide and make sure my daughter got all the essentials that she needs. So I wouldn't want to be like locked into a specific schedule because the way I get money is sporadic. It's not like, oh, I might work any day of the week at any time. So I wouldn't want to lock into a specific schedule. But if we was a team in a unit, then a lot of times she was like, okay, no problem, I know you can't get her. And then that's when you but as long as you carrying your weight, working, providing bread, giving extra and so on and so forth, that would be my ideal way of doing it.
Well, I think a solid set schedule is good with the option to play it by ear because that's kind of how me and Demetrius do it. We have a set schedule, however, if I need him on a day that's my scheduled day and he not doing nothing, it's no problem and vice versa.
Right.
So I think a solid set schedule is good because we know for a fact these are my days. But again, with the option to play it by ear, I think it can kind of go both ways.
Y'all work as a unit, man.
Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna flip the script real quick. So this is my question to you, Janice. After a breakup, how soon is too soon to start dating?
That's it's crazy. I was literally just having this conversation yesterday. I don't think there's a time limit.
Say that question again.
After a breakup, how soon? Oh my bad. After a breakup, how soon is too soon to start dating?
I'm assuming the child's involved.
When the child
Yes.
is
So you breaking up with the baby mom or the baby father?
Either one.
Okay,
Whichever
right, I got
whichever
you.
way you want to go.
I don't think it's a time limit. I do think that you can move on when that hurt doesn't require healing anymore. I think when the next person's happiness is not your happiness, it's just enhance your happiness, because you shouldn't depend on anybody to make you happy. You should be happy within yourself, and that person just enhance your happiness. And I think when you're able to communicate effectively with the other parent without it being any commotion, any animosity, and solely thinking about just the child, not anything that happened in the past, no past problems or past conflicts or nothing like that. So it's not really a time limit. That could take a week for some people because some people are mentally out of the relationship already. You can be mentally broken up with somebody for months, years, however, whatever.
Right.
And as soon as you break up with them, you can give it to the next person.
Okay.
Or it can take you a long time.
So, another question. So, do you feel like people jump into relationships after breakups too fast, like just to get over the person that they were with?
Yeah, sometimes, of course. Sometimes some people heal through others and actually end up hurting that person. You heal, they hurt,
And keep moving.
and you
I think
move.
that's detrimental.
It's very detrimental,
'Cause I
but it's
believe-
just what it is.
Right.
I don't really care about the rebound person. That's not even my concern. My focus is the child, and I think it's. I mean, I'm assuming that the child is around for this new relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's detrimental because, again, as parents, I guess my perspective is the child first, your want second. And when you focusing on you trying to get over somebody else, but involving the child and bringing different people around this child, you ain't considering the effect on the child or the in and out of this dude or this female that you bringing around just to get over another person. How that's going to affect your daughter, you having different people around him.
But what if you bring in multiple people, or what if you're not even like, now you're not even like, and you're not even jumping into a relationship, you just got multiple females that's coming around.
Me personally, I disagree with that. Okay. I'm not into, we talking about at a young age, I'm not into bringing different people into your child's life. I believe that's not a right or wrong thing. I believe that's just me personally. I don't necessarily would like condemn if somebody else was to do it, as long as they would do it in a responsible manner. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I don't agree with you having.
But what's
swing your
responsible?
door.
What's responsible? Because to me, you can have a child around a person as a friend or as the aunt or whatever. Kids aren't retarded. Like, they know what's happening. They know what's going on.
They retarded at a certain age.
Not mine.
You think? No. Like, if I tell your 4-year-old this your aunt, that's what they're gonna think.
Not mine.
You know what I mean? They're not gonna know. Right? They're not gonna know.
That's what it is.
My child is a fucking everybody her cousin. So if you tell somebody that's that's the
you
truth.
should be agreeing with me. And I'm gonna be
everybody cousin.
But you should be agreeing with me.
Gotta tell the truth.
So you saying, hold on. So you believe? I hate to make it personal because a lot of times when people talk about their child, they think they like unique or something.
Make it personal. My child not unique. It just is what it is.
No, I'm saying that you believe that a 4-year-old can differ. The distinction between someone you telling as a friend and someone you telling that is not a friend.
Yeah, because if she come home and say, "Mommy, Daddy was kissing Auntie."
Well, that's not being responsible.
Mommy, Daddy don't kiss aunties.
You said
You said being responsible though. I said if you're being responsible by how the people you have around the child. If you kiss them in front of the child, then that ain't being responsible. Obviously, you don't kiss auntie, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, come on.
That's wild.
But me personally, though, how I feel is I agree with you. But also, kids they can read. They can kind of read a little bit.
Yes,
You can say that's Auntie. They're like, oh, okay, that's Auntie Neek Neek. But then like, Auntie Neek Neek be a little bit too close to my dad. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like
Auntie Neek Neek be waking up. And while I'm going to school, she walking out the room.
That's why I say at a certain age.
Because I don't be knowing who a lot of aunties be.
My daughter's 7. So.
Once they get to us, right, at 7 is a dead mission.
Yeah, my daughter's
It's
7.
a dead mission at this point. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they already know. They know. You know what I'm saying? They know. But my daughter 5. And my daughter just asking me, is my old lady. Like, stuff like that. But before that, she didn't know who she was.
No, he old lady.
Right. She didn't know the difference in what was what and so on. And she was around, well, at least for this past year and a half. You see what I'm saying? She never knew. But now that they're getting older, they will start asking questions because that's when they start associating like mom and dad, boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. Like they starting to get an understanding of what that means. So when they see, especially when they don't see mommy and daddy together, they start saying, oh, well, a man supposed to be with a woman, and I keep seeing you with this woman. Is that the girlfriend, or is that the wife, or what? So on and so forth. So I just got that question for the first time.
Did it shock you?
It fucked me up. I like it.
Did you lie or you told
Of course I lied.
What you say?
You're supposed to lie to your children.
What you say? You supposed to lie.
Oh shit!
Okay,
hold on. I got a question about this. Do you supposed to lie to him at a certain age?
That's what I said, a certain age.
Or do you just supposed to lie to him, period?
You supposed to lie, right?
A certain extent.
Always, right.
Okay.
I like to speak like for shock value sometimes because I can tell that. But obviously, no, you are supposed to lie to your children. Like this bullshit of you being honest with your kids is reckless. Okay, in my opinion, they too young to understand certain things, so you shouldn't even involve them. All y'all know, we all come from the same era for the most part.
Well, I done told my kids Santa Claus ain't real, so.
You tell your parent, what your parent used to tell you. What your parent used to tell you when you was
nigga,
growing
I
up.
buy the gifts in this motherfucker.
You
Ain't no old white
understand
nigga with no
older, right?
motherfucking bed coming in here. Fuck that.
Right. Lie. Well, I ain't talking about that.
No, I'm
Those
just
are
saying.
mythical figures. I'm talking about real life stuff. My mom used to tell me all the time, you'll understand when you get older. I'm not going to tell you right now because you don't have the capacity to fully understand the truth.
But
you
then,
know what I'm saying?
whose job is it to tell you the truth? Is it your
Liar.
mom's? Is it your mom?
Oh,
But that's not good though.
Oh, no.
You
Depending on what we're talking
you
about.
leave that in their hands.
No, depending on what
So
we're
give
talking
an
about.
example, and then throw off that. Give an
Give
example
an
of something
example.
that you would tell your
No,
child
me,
that's a
you.
lie.
I already gave my
About the
example.
truth?
Yeah.
I gave my
Well,
example.
at my daughter 5. My daughter don't need to. I don't think it's important or vital for her to know her daddy got a girlfriend. Explain to me if there's no benefit in it, then what is the point of doing it? If it causes more confusion and more questions and more curiosity, then to me that's not beneficial. I don't see no benefit in my daughter knowing that I have a girlfriend. Well, but I also see a lot of not good things that come with it. Curiosity. Who is mommy? Why are you not with mommy? You see what I'm saying? Why don't you like mommy? And so on and so forth. All these things start to come apart.
I think if the relationship is solid, then you should be 100% honest with your child, because now your child is seeing a false image of what a relationship is, and that's why when kids grow up, us too, we don't have the example of what parents really are, what love really is, because all we know is a bunch of bullshit. This auntie.
5 years old is
Who
not
the fuck is auntie?
I don't
5 years old is not the time to be
totally
teaching your
disagree with
child.
him. I don't totally disagree
Teaching
with
your
what
child
you're saying.
about relationships.
Right.
5 years old is not the time to
It's
be
not,
teaching your
it's not
child
that
about
you teaching
relationships.
them. First of all, when
They
you're
still
5
got
years old,
imagination.
when you're
Right.
5 years old, they observing very well. Let me let you know
Right.
that right now. They're observing very well when they're 5 years old. So if you give your child, you don't have to flat out say this is my girlfriend. But if your child at 5 years old see you hugging, loving, caring,
But I don't
and,
do
and
all
all
that.
of that but it don't have to be in a promiscuous way. It can be in a loving way. You can give your girl flowers and your daughter see that men are supposed to give women flowers. Or,
Right,
stuff
for sure.
like that.
Okay.
So I see nothing wrong with it at all. I don't
But
see
that's
anything
not
wrong with
inappropriate
it.
activity. I don't associate you giving flowers to a
Well, that's
female.
what I said. It doesn't have to be in like in a vulgar way
I
or
guess
in
you threw
a.
me off when you said you need to be honest with your kid.
Hey, well, yeah.
To an extent.
To-
I mean,
That's
to a
my
certain extent. That's how I
personal
feel.
opinion.
What's an example that you should be honest with your kids then? Maybe give me some understanding. What is a scenario that you should be honest with your kid?
In her scenario, she basically saying that if she got a boyfriend, she's telling her child that's the
At
boyfriend.
5 years old, that's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm
If
saying,
she-
what is the
If
benefit
the
of that?
relationship is solid, yes.
Serious.
If it's a serious relationship, yes, I am. Yes.
I think
So
that's
why would I
all
not
it
say
is.
it?
I think
Why
that's
would
I
I
mean,
not?
they asking questions.
I understand.
If
her
they
logic.
asking
I think it's a
questions,
whole
No,
other issue.
I get what he's saying too.
But
I
I'm
don't
telling
fully
them.
disagree
I'm
with
telling
what he's
them.
saying.
I'm
I
telling
guess I
But
don't
I
trust.
understand.
Yes.
I understand.
I'm not gonna tell.
Judge
I'm not gonna tell
I
my
guess
kid
I don't
that.
trust humans enough to when they say a solid relationship. I've heard so many people say this is a solid relationship that ends
Shit goes south
in
real
like a
quick.
solid 3
Well, you
fucking
could be in a
months,
solid.
right?
You could be in a solid
What the hell is
marriage
solid?
and get divorced the next year. So that shit doesn't mean.
Well, that wasn't solid. That's the definition. That's the
A
difference
marriage
between
is you married the person because you think you solid, correct?
right, and that's the problem. Your thinking is wrong.
Well, you can never be too sure when dealing
When you
with a
in love, you in
relationship.
love.
Period.
When you in
I
love,
don't
you in
give a
love.
fuck if you married or not. You can never ever be too sure when you dealing with somebody. Period.
Agree,
Married,
agree.
engaged, in a long-term
Can you-
10-year relationship.
Can you be
It
more
doesn't
sure?
matter.
Can you be more sure?
No, I don't think so.
Damn, so it's all or nothing.
It's just the risk you
That's
take.
reckless.
It's just the risk you take.
That's reckless.
It's
No.
just the risk
So
you
you-
take.
so
I'm
you-
sorry.
So I should marry a girl the first week. Fuck it.
No,
ain't
I
gonna
didn't
know
say
no more.
that. I'm not
I
saying
said,
that.
so can you be more sure?
You cannot be more sure. You cannot. You
So why-
cannot.
so why
You
not?
can really think damn, I'm sure I love her. I'm sure. I've been with her 10 years. I'm about to marry her. Next month, y'all trying to get a divorce. And you just never can be too
Shit
sure.
happens.
You can. It
I think
does.
that-
It
I
really
think that
does.
shit
I think that
It does.
to me, in my opinion, that makes you very immature. That makes your evaluation process reckless. You're not a man to me. You're not a man to me, and this on man time, right? So you're not a man to me if one, you're controlled by your emotions and you make poor decisions based on no substantial evidence. Feelings alone don't mean shit. If you telling me I love this brother, well, explain to me why you love him. And if you can't go down the list of why you love him, then I already know that relationship ain't solid.
And
right?
what if you go down that list and still end up not with that person?
Well, after a year, to me, that wasn't the evaluation process wasn't long enough. if you
just
if you
giving
divorce it
yourself
after a
anything.
year, see the problem is you don't value marriage enough. Not you. I'm saying you can't value marriage as something sacred if you were divorced in a year, that means it was you got into it too quickly. That means you didn't, because if something is glaringly shocking to you that will cause you to divorce within a year, void of like cheating or like some unforeseeable thing, right? If you're divorcing this person based on a lot of times personality or differences that you have, that could have been avoided if you
with a conversation.
with it, more time. Because everything you can't experience through a conversation. It's called dating. Like, you have to see this person when she gets angry. You have to see this person when she's happy, when she's sad. How does she act when she's sick? How does she act when she's on her period? What does she do during a hardship? What happens when she loses her mom or somebody close to her? Does she close up or does she step up? You got some men, when they lose their job, they crumble and sleep on the couch all day. You got other niggas that go out and say, nigga, I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna cut this grass, you need to figure out all these things to me before you be making a real commitment like marriage. But obviously people don't consider it that sacred.
And you
so
can
they'll
do all
just
of
get with
that.
them because they like them.
You still can do all that and still end up with that person. At the end of the day, is what I'm telling you. It's a risk.
But
It's
I'm
like
never
sex.
disagreeing.
A motherfucker can tell you, I'm only having sex
But
with
we
you.
say more
That's
prepared.
that. And you come up with a fucking STD.
Right,
That's
But we
just what it
say more
is.
though.
No, what
More
I'm
prepared.
saying is it's just a risk at the end of the day.
Everything is a risk.
It's
As far as
a
relationship,
risk.
relationship is a risk.
Risk.
Within itself.
So,
Period.
so you associate, and we can move on. But if it's so I look at things like basically a percentage, right?
Right.
So you can have an 80% success
child.
rate, right? You can have an 80% success rate, or you can have a 20% success rate. She would like you to believe, well, both of them are a risk, so you're going to do it anyway. Fuck it. But I'm going to say, no, this one has an 80% more probability to be successful. That is what you would call a reasonable risk. Just because you have a 20% chance of succession doesn't mean 80 and 20% are equal, although both of them are a risk. Because
Exactly.
80% ain't 100%.
Right.
That's where you become reckless. Because you say, well, fuck it, it's a no. How about you improve your opportunity of success? Doesn't mean it's still going to be 100%.
Well, you
But you should be
basically
more
justifying
sure.
what I just said. It's still a risk at the end of the day.
I know,
Like,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
I see-
ignorant it's ignorant to say 80 and 20% is the same thing.
I see what he's
No,
saying.
it's
Right.
not. No.
A risk for-
I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. However, it's still a goddamn risk, like I said.
Yeah, I would rather take the risk with
It's I'm more high.
more so
Still a
someone that's
goddamn risk. You hear me?
grinding, working towards getting more money, taking care of the family, but so somebody that's always laying on their ass. Don't do dishes.
Right.
Don't
Yeah,
wash
for sure.
clothes.
Right.
So I almost
But
want
you're
to
saying
take
both
that
are the
risk.
same.
I would
No,
want
I'm
to
not
take
saying
a risk
both of
with
them the
that.
same. I'm saying both
I
of them
would
are
also take a
risk.
risk with
At the
a
end of the
bad
day, it's
attitude,
still
but she
risk.
still
Yeah.
be on her grind. She
I'm
still
not-
get her money. She still make sure the kids good.
Right.
Versus a bad attitude. She don't do this. She don't wash clothes. She don't.
Right.
She don't get up next
Right.
But I love her.
But I love her.
But you can also know that
But I love
people
it.
change.
But I love it.
You also,
You
what
sound
you
like a
also
fool.
need to know is that people change. They can be all that
That's a very true.
before y'all get into a relationship.
Yeah, but how long-
and you get into a relationship, you find out they're a whole different person.
That's
Yeah,
that 20% though.
Yeah, but how long?
Which is also a risk.
Some people make that sacrifice, but how long are you going to keep making that sacrifice for, or try to build someone up when you hear?
Which
Why
goes to my
war
point that it'll
goes-
end, correct? Which
Yeah.
a risk, like I said.
But why you make it so black
A
and
risk.
white?
Because that's what it is. It's a
I'm gonna let them
risk.
finish. I'm gonna let them finish.
I'm gonna end it with this, right? Or at least my comment. Listen, people. Listen,
Wow.
Listen, people.
No, listen, people. Listen, really, because we got to do better, especially the people that look like us.
Black
Don't
queen.
simplify risk as all together, right? We understand that relationship in essence is a risk, right?
Correct.
There's
That's
no
all I'm
insurance
saying.
in that. Right, but that's the obvious. We don't need to say that because everybody knows that.
No,
We are-
everybody
we-
know, obviously. But
Anybody
what is
that's
that
grown
you're saying?
that thinks whoever they pick, there is absolutely no chance that y'all gonna break up is a very immature individual, right? Or very uninformed, right?
Right.
So being that we already obviously know that it is a risk, right? We don't have to speak on it. All I'm saying is, better prepare yourself. It's almost like that ignorant shit that I hear people say, like, oh, you're never prepared for a baby. Yes, you are. Because if I got $500 in my account and I got $50,000 in my account, the person with $50,000 in his account is a little bit more prepared than the person with $500 in his account.
No.
Now,
Money can't
No,
raise.
money
can't
not
raise
raising no kids. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying. I'm not. I'm not
but
saying
it
all
damn sure
together.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying
all
don't help.
together.
But I'm just saying you can't raise your kids with money because there's people out here that got a lot of money
Listen.
and raising their kids
Money
and
is-
them fucking their kids off the fucking wall.
I was only saying money because obviously we know money make the world. Money goes into so many different facets of life. So I was only using that example. Again, I'm not
We
saying all in
digressing.
any.
We
I'm not
digressing.
saying all in any, right? But
Okay.
it's all I'm saying is there are more calculated risks than others. Don't view an 80% chance of success at the same as a person with a 30% chance of success. They're both risks, but one is more prepared than the other. All right, that's all.
Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to something else. Jazz, again, this is for you. Do you feel like mothers care more about their children than fathers?
In a relationship or out of the relationship?
Period.
Period?
Yeah,
Period, Pooh. Because I got the answer.
No, actually I don't. I think that they care more about the dads than their kids. Because,
You think mothers care more
I
about
think-
the fathers than they do the children?
yeah, some of them
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
I do.
Yeah,
I think that
didn't expect
mothers-
that answer.
You firing shots.
But I didn't expect that.
No, I think so because that's where a lot of the conflict comes from. They
They
too
care
worried
too much
about the
about
father
fathers.
and not the child.
I agree.
good.
So,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I get it. I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
they caring about the
I
father
wish-
too
wish
much,
we had
worried
the
about what he
what's his
doing,
name?
I know.
worried about what he got going on, instead of just solely
Ooh.
focusing on the child.
Y'all heard it.
So
Y'all
that's
heard
where
her
a lot
say
of
it.
the
Y'all heard her
conflict
say
even
it.
I
comes
was
from.
actually about to disagree with you.
Yeah, that's
But-
a valid point.
Now that I see what the question was about, like
fucked me up with that
you're
one.
talking about in a co-parentingship,
Right.
does the mother, if they care about the child, that means they're
Not even in a co-partnership. I feel like in a
Just in
relationship
general,
too. In general,
Like-
just in a
like
relationship
I
too.
said,
in a marriage.
Yeah.
Well,
In a
I would
marriage,
say-
in a relationship,
well, some
just in
people with
general.
a spiritual background, believe that there's a hierarchy and your husband becomes before your child. But that's if you are spiritually based.
Well, I'm not talking about. I'm
Those
not talking about the
right.
spiritual
You talking
spiritual
about like-
aspect either. I'm just talking about normal. I just feel like. Go ahead, Ron.
Go ahead,
What
no,
you
go ahead,
about
what
to
you
say?
got?
No, I'm gonna go ahead.
Well, I just feel like a lot of women care about the dads more than the children too,
You talking about to the detriment of the child?
to the detriment of the child.
Right. Okay, I get that. They more focused on
What
getting
the
back or
fathers
trying to
doing.
fall right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Instead of
okay,
just
I get what
focusing
you're
on the
saying.
child, right?
I get
All
what
right, go
you're
ahead, Ron.
I mean, I would say that as far as I think the females care more about the child because they birthed the child. They spent that 9 months with the child, carrying the child. So I feel like women, females in general, care more or think they care more about that child because of that process that they went through.
I got it for
Just
you.
within that
makes
9
sense.
months of
Yeah.
having the child.
I think I agree with the think that they care.
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Yeah.
so
Think that
the-
they-
It's the thinking part.
Right, so here's my spill on it. I honestly think that some women, numbers, we going on numbers, not all, just a percentage.
Right.
Some women do feel like they care more about the child than like now. I'm talking about between the mother and the father. I'm saying like, look, I care about. Nobody never will say it, but they kind of express it a little bit like actions. Basically, I care. This is my child. This is my child. It's like it's my motherfucking child too. You know what I'm saying? Like Rome said, because y'all birthed them, because y'all nurtured and did all that stuff. Some women do. I feel like some women do feel like that. Okay, yeah, this is both our child. We share it, but I care a little bit more than you.
And
Oh,
I
you wanna
sometimes, huh?
What you want to add me next time?
I ain't gonna ask you because honestly, since we just no, it's not
What
for
you
real.
wanna ask me next
For real,
time?
chill. No, seriously. Sometimes I do have to remind you that this is my child too, right? You know I care just as much as you, right? You know what I'm saying?
You know how it's a telltale sign of what you saying is true. These are the subtle references where you can tell because they do it unconsciously.
Yeah.
What do
I
they
think
say
sometimes.
when they refer to the child? What do they say?
My child,
My
my child,
my
this, my
child.
child,
My
my child.
They don't say our child. They say mine. But they believe it's like, no, it's a little bit more mine.
Right.
You know how they
That's
say,
what I'm
you're
saying.
not
That's what I'm
taking my child to bitch. No,
My child too. You ain't lay down by yourself,
But you
motherfucker.
hear that was one of them trigger words for me, right? When I would hear that, it would like get me upset. So, especially when I'm spending bread. That even important. Because it's not. 'Cause forget the money.
Fuck it.
This child is no more yours than mine. So
Correct.
stop disrespecting me or creating a negative energy by saying mine. It's not considerate to the person, cause y'all quick to say we made this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Y'all quick to
They want you to do some shit.
Y'all pick and choose when y'all want to
I
make it
carried
50-50.
this baby for 9 months.
Right,
not you.
right.
But
I
to-
put that baby in you.
to
The baby
take-
was in me
to-
my whole life.
Baby was in my
to
nuts.
take up
No homo.
for him, I understand. Some situations I understand them.
Right, not all, just some.
Because of after birthing them, they have that obligated duty just because they birthed them to make sure they're good, even if the
More
father's
than
there
the
or
man?
not.
More than the man?
No.
It's just
I'm
it's
not
just
even
it's just
also
it's just a
doing
mother's
that.
nurturing.
It's
It's
just
just
a
a
mother's-
mother's nurturing thing.
Not
That's
all,
what they
not
do.
all women, not all women, but majority.
Yes.
They have that nurturing, that
Right.
lock bond due to having birthing. You know, more so shit, they got cut for the baby.
Sometimes we put more value. The problem is society puts value in things and says this one is more. So how do you say the mother is more nurturing? So you putting value in what she's supposed to contribute.
No, that's
And
just
stay
that
safe.
process. That
Right.
we don't have babies, so that's that process that.
That don't mean
they
we don't
go-
love them. That mean we
I'm
don't
not-
mean we
I'm
love
not
them
saying-
less.
That's not what he's
No,
saying.
I'm not
That's the
saying
point
That's
that
not
I'm
what he's
making.
saying.
I'm not saying that we love them less. I'm just saying that due to that process,
You
we
feel
don't
like
know.
it's more of a connection.
We don't
It's
go
more
through
of a
that
connection
process
that
that they
the
go
woman-
through.
We could have
We
babies
would
and
never
five
understand
motherfuckers
it.
I agree with
Right.
We would never
No, you
understand
right.
it.
You right. I
feel
get
you
what
on
you're
So,
saying.
so in
And
a
that's
sense,
absolutely right.
It's a
when we
connection that
don't,
we
as
couldn't have.
as males, when we don't pick up the slack or do what we supposed to, that's when they get that instance. This my child.
No, I think that comes before
Yeah,
that. But,
I
but
agree.
in
Yeah,
some
it
cases,
does.
I
you're
agree
right.
with you,
Yeah.
but not to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
They
Not
come
that
in the
that's
door like that. Well,
Yes.
I don't like to say all
Yes.
the any.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say all the
Who
any,
the fuck
but I'm gonna say some. No, I'm just.
I'm talking about the
I
world.
think it's
I'm
just-
talking about my
I think it's
situation.
just-
right?
yeah.
I think
Why
it's just a
always-
habit. Though.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
your
it's just a-
language.
It's just a natural.
But that's because
it's just-
society made it
Y'all
so.
crazy shit. All
That's
right,
because
real quick,
society
real quick,
made it
But
everybody,
that's
real quick.
not even society. That goes back for just women. Period. Having kids. We would never understand it.
It's a connection
But,
that
yeah,
they have that
we
we
would
can't
never
have.
understand
I get
that.
that. I get that. They carry that
Now,
motherfucker.
as far as a female having a baby and just throwing them to the female having a baby and just
What?
throwing it to
He
the.
said, all right, bro, kept talking. Go ahead, bro. Finish what you're saying.
No, finish, bro, 'cause
finish.
Ron-
Finish.
I want
no,
to
Ron
hear shit
talking
though.
something.
No, I
He
want to hear shit though.
He going into a
Even
nice.
just far as just a female just having a baby and just saying, I'm gonna just give it to
Right.
his father.
Next time.
And he pick up the slack.
Right.
She may turn around and say, still, oh, this is my
My
child.
child. Right.
So it's a win-win or a lose-lose situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you gotta do better. The problem is a lot of these conversations that we have are not just because we want to move our lips, right? Sometimes we actually want to inflict change, right? I'm assuming that's why this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's the whole point of the podcast.
Sometimes we're having these conversations so we can do better. So right. So when I say stop saying my, that's not me trying to be masculine or chauvinistic or whatever the case may be. That's me letting you know this is how men feel sometimes. And men take things personal, or we're affected when you say these things because sometimes you make us feel like your contribution
It don't
is
matter.
higher
You're
than my
masculine.
contribution.
And
Correct.
due to masculinity,
Yeah.
or we just supposed to be this macho. No,
Right.
no, we have feelings.
We got feelings
We
too.
feel
100.
how to.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Just and this is for the ladies out there watching. We are not women bashing by no means. We
We have a woman on set, so she's.
Yeah, we ain't
We know
women
y'all
bashing.
quick. We know y'all quick. Listen, we know y'all quick to not actually address the whole topic, but to address a phrase. Because they will pull something out. They won't listen to the whole totality of what
We
it
ain't
said.
gonna go there.
We'll pick a little piece out. But go
I ain't
ahead.
gonna go there.
All right, so real quick.
I sound hurt, but go ahead. I sound hurt. It's cool, you know, it's cool.
All right, real quick, y'all. Do we have any comments or you know?
Well,
All the comments I've read, a lot of people just agreeing, they saying yep, or they just speaking their piece and not really no questions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we ain't really gotta go to the comments.
What we got, Carl? Ain't no questions on that? Okay.
I can't really see him because it's on blog.
Read that. What's that second question at the bottom?
Okay. Ask what is the ideal code? Okay, not that. Who the fuck wrote this shit?
This child over here, my son.
Boy, he write like
Can't
DJ.
he?
Read that shit.
The
I
last
can't.
one?
I can't
Bro,
read
The
he
last
write
one?
like DJ. He just is bad.
Ask your question, Coach. You had a question.
Is
You
what are
wrote
your
it.
expectations from co-parenting? We
No,
already
he said
know
that already. The next one.
Oh, do you prefer courts being involved?
Like, is that a preferred option?
No.
First.
Hell no.
You got some people who believe, like,
Some people
This nigga love talking about the
believe in
court.
being in the court.
nah, you know what? Because I believe the court system is necessary in
Court gonna
certain
get me high.
I do
situations.
too.
In certain situations, I do believe it can be beneficial for both parties. You see what I'm saying?
But what do you prefer?
Yeah,
But what do
That's
you
the
prefer?
question.
It depends on
the
the-
question is, what do you
Me
prefer?
personally,
Stop burping in my damn face.
I know it's just
Smell like fucking Subway.
It's my like hot dog water.
do you prefer?
No.
Child support?
I feel like hell no.
Not just child support. Not
Now
just
the
child
courts
support.
being involved. Period. Do you,
Hell no.
do you prefer the courts being involved?
No, I feel like as adults we should be able to sit down and have a mature conversation and figure this shit out.
It's
What
supposed
about-
for all
What
of
about
us.
custody? What about custody?
Oh, but is that likely?
That depends on who you're dealing with.
Yes.
No,
Great
It
question.
depends on who you in.
Forget it. Don't make it an individual.
No,
Say
I'm just saying.
on a broad span. Is that likely?
For
What's
an
the percentage of
African
niggas
American,
on child support?
I'm gonna put it like this:
Ninety.
since we get
Oh,
more
shit.
in depth in the
Shout out
African.
to the
90%?
10%. Shout out to the 10%.
What you
Is it-
think, Con?
So in the African
Y'all,
American,
this is what the computer is for
on.
y'all to Google facts.
Okay.
I'm not speaking on nothing if it ain't no fact. That's Google.
We don't know.
Okay, well Google it, because
Okay,
I don't want to
okay,
speak
I'ma
on
get
it if
my
I don't
piece
know
and then
the-
I'ma let
if I
y'all
don't
do
know
y'all.
the real deal.
I'm
I
gonna get
don't
my
know.
piece and then I'm gonna let y'all do y'all.
Okay, go ahead and
In
tell
the
us.
African American community, I feel like no. I feel like the courts are more involved.
Right.
That's just how I feel
And you
because
believe
of what
it should
I've
be.
seen in
But
my
you
life
prefer,
experiences.
but you prefer not to.
I prefer no. I prefer as an adult, like I said, as an adult, I feel like we should be able to come to a common ground and have a mature conversation and figure this shit out amongst each other, regardless of how much I don't like you, how much you don't like
need
me.
no computer for that.
It's not about
You don't
us.
get-
It is about
We
the
was
child,
Googling- we
the
were
betterment of the
Googling
child,
the
and how we
percentage.
can progress, how our child can progress. Not about how I'm feeling or how you feeling about me this day or the next day. Fuck that. That shit don't matter when a child is involved completely.
It takes time. Though.
Why do you think it's so hard? And when I say for women, because I'm talking to a man, it's going to go to Shorty in a second.
Who
And
is
she's
Shorty?
going to be able to speak. You know who you are. You know you're my boo baby. You saw it. But she'll be able to give the woman perspective. So when I'm asking you, I'm saying, why do you feel like it's so hard for women? Obviously the ones that's in this situation,
Right.
for them to remove their emotions and think of their child first in the betterment of y'all working together and set aside y'all differences.
I feel like it's harder for women because the situations that us as men might have put them through. You know what I'm saying? That they hold on to. Men are not as emotional as women.
Right.
So certain things we can sit here and we can just be like, damn. All right, whatever, move on to the next. A female is not like that. A female will hold that shit in and will dwell on it. She might not let you know about it, but it's a trigger. Like you could be walking down the street and with her and you could say something that'll trigger and she be like, well, motherfucker, you remember when you did this?
Oh,
Like, damn.
shit.
You be like,
But
damn,
do-
what the fuck?
But
Like,
do you think that's mature to women?
no, it's
when
not.
the venom-
It's not. But that's how a lot of.
But we
women
don't
are.
want to make excuses for women, right? We don't want to, because we want to treat them like equal adults, right? Because that wouldn't be an
They are.
excuse that would be acceptable for a man, right?
No, not at all.
So I'm not going to allow that to be an excuse for a woman.
Right.
So what I'm asking is, why do you think it is hard for women to remove and set aside their emotions for the betterment of their child?
They
I told you because of what we may have put them through in the past. They might hold on to that. That might cloud their judgment.
Right. Okay, cool.
What you got to say, Strictly Biz?
Or
I
as
think
far as
it's. I
believing
think
in
it's.
the
I
courts
think
is-
it's. Well, no, I prefer for us to.
No.
leave it out the
What's your
court.
opinion?
On what he just said.
Nah, about the
Why
question.
do you think it's so hard for men to co-parent with a woman? From
Is
a
it?
woman's perspective.
I think a lot of men don't do the job that they're supposed to do with their child, so they fear the next man doing what they are supposed to be doing with their child. I think that.
That's a different perspective.
I
No,
really do.
that's right.
That's why you here.
I know
I
that's
think
right.
that a lot of men will, and the example of like time, not spending time with your child, and then your baby mother go and she get another boyfriend and he's spending the time with your child, taking them to basketball practice, doing homework with them. That's things that you supposed to be on. That's time that you missing out on and the next man doing, and that can cause some type of jealousy.
I got something to say.
Go ahead and say it.
Do you think? I mean, as coming from a man, I know I'm not just childish, but I have seen instances where men would talk to a female and will be and hang out with their kids and just so they can get in the door. And once they get in the door, that shit go out the window.
That's that 20%.
Right. I don't like to speak on the 20, but I get those.
It happens. I mean, it's
it
hard.
happens a lot. It happens a lot. It does happen enough to speak on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just a nigga tactic. I mean, come on, man. We know we just that's just niggas trying to get some pussy and figuring out the best way to get it. The best way to get it.
Only an hour we stop.
Oh, okay. Oh, you good? We still recording. Go ahead.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've seen it happen in some instances, and you know what I'm saying. I just be like, damn, like that's kind of like a messed up situation.
I prefer the courts not to be involved, man. I think it's time for grown-ups to actually be it. It's just so unlikely. It's just so uncommon. It's just so uncommon because it's so hard for people to set aside their differences and focus on the. This is why I always say, and I like to say harsh things, but I say, well, you don't love your child. You don't really love your child. Because if you really love your child, you will put aside your personal feelings for the betterment of your child, right? So when I say that, I love my child, no, you don't. Because if you can't find a way to get along with your baby father, if he is trying to get along with you, obviously if you're a nigga that ain't doing what he's supposed to do, then there ain't no winning.
Yes.
But if you got somebody that's willing to try, you gotta understand he not gonna be everything you are, and she not gonna be everything you are. But if both of y'all come in with a level-headed mind and the goal in mind is to win, then y'all gonna be straight. But too many people
50-50
care about themselves more than they really love their child. Having a child is hard, man, because you got to put somebody before you put yourself, and people really don't accept that idea. Most people are selfish.
Because they're very selfish.
Yeah, most people are selfish, but they'll tell you all day they love their child, but they'll shame their baby mama all day, or they'll shame their baby father all day, and I'm guilty of it now. So I ain't gonna talk like I'm without. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
but I can recognize that the goal was to establish a real relationship for the child, because I understand the detrimental factors that happens when a daughter grows up without a father, when she starts to feel insecure, when she starts to not feel love, when she don't see herself as beauty, when she starts to date guys and to want to develop a father relationship out of the man that they're dating. See what I'm saying? This is what happens when they don't know what love is. They seek it from other people. And if you was looking for love from me when I was 16, I was taking advantage. I used to recognize the girls that didn't have fathers. You can tell. You can tell.
Plotting on the pussy.
I'm telling you, at 16, I could tell. I could tell because they seeked you as a father figure. Even though they liked you, they looked at you as this superior man figure in their life that they've been lacking for so long. And what I'm trying to do is avoid those things. And the way you avoid that is making it work for your with your baby mother and your baby father. But we got too many external motivating factors like getting money. You know what I mean? Girls want to get money. I got another question. How many girls do you know, and we were talking about this with my father, that benefit, that they child support benefit them in the long run? Yeah. What I mean by that is a lot of girls that I know that's getting money from child support, they rarely do anything with the money, but actually blow it on Gucci shoes and a new car. But when that money run out, they usually have nothing to show for it. I'm just saying, them same bum bitches, they rolling high for 18 years. See what I'm saying? And then after the 18 years is up, they just as broken bummy as can be. I see a difference in the lifestyle when the money run out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't have no friends that have their.
Well, you ain't lived long enough, but
yeah,
give yourself 18 more years and see what your friends doing after that. You know what I'm saying? See if they benefit. You know what I'm saying? More or less, it's just a mentality, and we got to get out of that mentality.
And the piggyback off what you said, like a lot of women, they basically, like you said, they put them on child support due to the emotion. But at the end of the day, it's like you're hurting your kid and you're hurting your situation, because the father could have been more involved and could have did this and did that. But you put him on child support, and he could have been spending $2,000 a month, hypothetically speaking, and now you getting child support for $500.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you fucked your kid up. Your kid,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You taking your little 500 because you didn't even need it. You know what I'm saying? You get your little 500, you spending it on your Gucci and all that shit. Like you said, your whole life changed. You get it, but the father could have been more involved. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas, like I said, like some niggas are emotional. Some niggas, you put a nigga on child support, they're fucking around. They take care of the kid doing all that. They like, nigga, you put me on child support. They be like, Daddy, can I have $100? Get it from your mother. I sent her 800 yesterday.
And who was affected?
The child.
Because the child only hears what?
But the father.
No. Or what do they
Exactly.
hear from?
Right.
Or what do they hear from
Exactly.
mommy? Or what do they hear from mommy?
I don't got
Your
it.
dad don't
Oh,
got
no.
it.
Yeah.
Actually, Daddy. So when they
daddy.
constantly getting disappointment from their dad, although the child don't understand that the mama getting $1,000, $1,200, $500 from child support,
You better
what
break
do you
it
think
down.
the mental effect goes on the child? Because the child only
Oh,
hears
they hears
from
nothing.
dad. Because the fathers, most stand-up niggas, not all, but most stand-up niggas don't actually tell an 8-year-old, I'm actually giving your mama such and such amount of money.
I would.
You know what I mean?
My son's 12. He
I
knows.
think that creates a whole new set of issues. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor
I'm
there.
telling you.
Because you'll start hearing children say, "Where the money my daddy gave you?"
Yeah. You talking all that.
You know what I'm
Don't,
saying? Where the money my
you
daddy
saying
gave you?
that don't be honest with your kids, shit. Nigga, I'm telling you. I'm like, look at here.
In that instance, I feel like you should be
I'm
honest.
telling you. I'm fucking telling you. If I'm on
You
child
taking all
support,
my fucking money,
I'm telling
bitch, I'm
my
snitching.
kid. I'm like,
That
look.
nigga said I'm
But at the end of the day, it's still just detrimental to the child.
Absolutely,
Again,
but I'm being honest.
the child is
Child.
affected.
That's
At
fine.
the
But
end of
what's,
the
hold
day.
on.
but was the child affected when you went down to the court?
Shit was good.
The child.
But you mad that he got that cute ass girlfriend and now he on papers.
Let me give you some.
I mean,
let me
yeah,
give
it happens like
let me
that.
give you a real
Right.
situation. Right. Let me give you a real situation, and I'm gonna make it real fast for child support. A lot of niggas that want to be in their child life, right? That gets down to court. He may be making some money, right? He get down in a situation where he go to court. They give him this crazy ass number, right? Now he has to adjust his lifestyle because he's paying this extraordinary amount of money for child support, right? What usually is the effect? Let me tell you what the effect is. Most hustling niggas, what do? They hustle more, right? They hustle more to try to suffice for this new debt that they have, right? But what happens when you hustle more?
More money.
Lose time with your child.
Saying you lose time with your child, right?
Oh, that shit comes.
That's even less time that you're able to spend with your child because you have a larger expense. And then the mom would take all your money and then turn around and say, "Well, you don't spend no time with your child." When you put him in a hole, because especially if he get a new girl, if he get a new girl and want to be a rock and a man to the new girl and provide a family for them, he got to work extra harder because guess what? He got $1,000, $1,200, $800, $500 coming out his household income.
You wanna know
Coming out
something?
there. So how much time is he really being able to
wanna know
spend with the child if he working? And another thing is this: we don't even remember because most of you baby mamas don't send the kids with no clothes or don't send them with no money. So when the baby come with the father, when
He
he
still
finally
gotta
got
spend
it,
money.
he got to spend more money because the child with you. But what if he don't got money like that? What if you don't have a job or a career that provide him extra additional income?
Yeah.
What does he end up doing?
Preach!
Daddy, we can't go to the.
You wanna know something?
Daughter, we can't go to the park. Daddy ain't got no money. Daddy, we can't get no ice cream because we ain't got no money. So what happens to children? Children
Disappointment.
are impressionable. I don't want to go to daddy's house. We never get to do nothing when we go over
Shit,
there.
born over
We
there.
don't
I
never
wanna
get
go back
to do
to
nothing
my
when we
house.
go over there. I don't want to go over there. Mommy, you take me to the park. Mommy, you take me to get ice cream because mommy getting
Well,
this
shit,
check.
I want to go to grandma's
I'm
house.
telling you, man, it's deep.
Jazz, how many of y'all women hear shit like that and actually pay attention to it? 'Cause I feel like I've had that same exact conversation with my friends.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I really can't even answer that question because I'm not in
Yeah,
that
the situation,
predicament,
right.
so I can't speak.
But you can speak on your friend. You
I
got
can't
women.
speak on my friends. I don't have no friends that have their children's dad on
We gotta get
child
more.
support.
That nigga said,
Well,
where's your
well-rounded
clique
female over here.
at? Where's
You know
your
what I'm
friends?
saying? Jesus.
Go ahead, Brody.
But to
But that's a
piggyback,
good thing.
but to
Yeah,
piggyback
facts.
My
on
bitch is
what-
100.
Good for you.
what you said, to piggyback on what you said,
Oh, the
I
one
know,
that money.
I know somebody.
Oh,
I
that's
know,
your friend?
Shut up.
Some be wild.
I know somebody that's in.
Well,
this
you'll have a
situation.
friend soon, but go ahead.
I know somebody that's actually in that situation and went and got into another relationship, and the person that they're with is actually helping them. You know what I'm saying? Get back on their feet because of that situation.
Which is a rarity.
Yeah, that's very
What
rare.
person
That's real.
they're together?
Yeah, the person that
Okay.
they're dealing with is helping them get back to, you know what I'm saying, get back to a better situation because of the situation that they were in because of their previous
But
situation.
imagine,
Okay.
but imagine the insecurity that men develop Most men don't like feeling inadequate.
Correct.
Most women don't like feeling like they need a woman to get them on their feet based on poor decisions that they made. Imagine what that do to you and your
As a man,
confidence and your ability to be a man.
I would feel some kind of way.
It's
I
definitely-
would, but I wouldn't turn down and help. But I would just, as a man, would like you said, it would just make me hustle harder.
Right. Okay.
I wouldn't turn down and help, but I would just make sure I'm hustling 10 times more on top of her helping.
The
I mean,
power
I
of
think-
decisions are serious, y'all. The
I
power
think-
of the decisions that you make
First,
has
that
a
shit.
trickulating
One bad decision can ruin your whole
effect,
life.
yeah.
effect, man.
It definitely have a
One bad
effect.
decision can
But I
ruin
still-
your whole life.
I think
Ron got
certain
the last comment. We're gonna wrap it up.
certain situations, the courts are needed for certain situations. Dealing with certain females or dealing with certain males, that communication just ain't right.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
for
ain't
sure.
right. So you got to go down to the court to establish some type of custody or visitation or something to make them see, oh, I'm not playing with you. Just for them to get it. They might not get it right then and there, but just for them to get it. Take some type of, as a man, take some type of approach to the situation rather than just backing off saying, oh, I'm not going to see my child, or I see him what I see him, or making up a type of excuse. When you can go down to the court and figure out how to go which way or how to, it's free attorneys at the court.
If you
We
can't
can go
figure it
ask, where you can go ask questions and all that. It's always a way. Us as men,
That's what I
this
was saying
generation,
earlier. It's always
more
a
so
way.
this generation, they lacking.
Very much so.
They're
That's what I
lacking.
said.
I said it's a perception of defeat.
Yeah.
Most men have this perception that we're not going to win if we go to court because it's likely that you're not going to win. Women have so much control. Let me tell you why men don't get joint physical custody most of the time, right? Let me tell you the real reason why, right? Because you have to establish a history that you can take care of a child for a period of time, not just a day, not just a few hours. You can't get your child once a week and then go in the court and say, I want my child 50% of the time.
Right.
It don't work. The judge gonna say no. But guess what? Who gets to dictate how often you get your child?
Female.
It's a game, man. If I have no control, if I'm dealing with a woman who has all the control on how often I get my child, how can I ever establish, man? How can I ever establish a grounds that I actually can care for this child for? You know how many times I hear women say, I ain't leaving my child for you 2-3 days. I don't know if you can do this. I don't know if I can either. I ain't got a chance to do it yet.
Let me think about that. It's more so establishing that.
Fuck that.
I think too many, like you said, too many emotions and feelings be involved in the beginning, man and female. Where if it's a child involved, go down to the courts and establish custody. Right when the child is involved. I mean,
When the child is born.
That's what I messed up.
But let me
at.
tell you what a judge
You
never
think
going
so?
to give a newborn child. A judge will never give a man 50% shared custody of a newborn child. They say it. Young infant children need to be with their mom.
No.
They don't need. They can't be apart from their
The women
mother.
don't
Wrong.
understand.
Not more so,
Right.
not more so a newborn because we know the female got to nurture, breastfeed, all that.
Right.
I'm
Tell the-
speaking
tell
of
the women that
at a
when the baby
reasonable,
too much.
Even if they not
one, not even 2, 3. You
What
got to
about-
go establish something.
But what
If that relationship
right.
is rocky.
Yeah, you do got to
That's what I'm
start
saying.
somewhere, right?
You gotta
so
start
if
somewhere.
the child is, if the mom, this is the advice to the men. If the mom is not allowing you to get the child, right? Go ahead, go through the full physical custody with the mom and get her 2 days out the week. Establish that. Go back to court and say, I want my child more, right? Because you gotta say you gotta
stand your ground.
you gotta fulfill
somewhere.
your commitment. You gotta get your child the days you're supposed to get her. And if you do that for 6 months to a year, you can go back and say, I want my child more. And the judge's gonna say, well, have you been getting your child? Yes, I have. Every weekend, the days I'm supposed to get it.
Yeah, and you
then
get
the-
your child. Don't get your child, send that motherfucker to the grandma.
No. That's not your business.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not your business.
Don't send it to the grandma.
No, that's
You
not your
take
business.
care of it.
We're gonna say that for another day.
We gonna say that
Fuck
for
that,
another
'cause y'all be, a lot of y'all motherfuckers be doing that. Sending that motherfucker to the grandmother and shit.
We gonna say that. We gonna say that for another day. But check this out, man. They just gave y'all a lesson on the court system and child support. Y'all, if y'all not listening, and like she said, you can go on Google, look that shit up. But look, this is the We Say They Say podcast. I'm your host, the Real Brody. We got the infamous Strictly Business in here. Got my man Hefe Maintain in here. Got my man Meet You 2 times, said 2 times in here. Got my man Big Rome over here in the cut.